Hey guys, what's going on? I know it's been a while, but I really wanted to kind of give you guys an update of what's going on in my life. As you can tell by the title, I do have COVID, and so today's video is going to be about that. I haven't really done a commentary like this before, so I'm going to try it out. Let me know what you guys think of it. But before I get started, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. It's free, and you can always unsub if you want to. So, as a lot of you guys probably already know, I am in college. I'm in my senior year of college, actually. And I go to like a smaller private college with only a couple thousand people, so we were able to stay open, and we have very minimum cases on campus, which is awesome. Not many schools can say that they're still open this far into the year. And so like 2 or 3 weeks ago, our whole school had to get tested for COVID just to see where we were at. And out of all the students, only one case came back positive, which was really awesome. And then about a week or so ago, I think last Tuesday in the afternoon during my classes, I started to get like a bit of a headache and my throat was starting to hurt a bit. And I didn't really think too much of it. I'm like, okay, I'm probably fine. It's probably just a cold. I always get a cold around this time of the year. But if it gets worse, I'll let the nurses on campus know. That way I can get tested and all that. And so I was hanging out with like my friends in my apartment. There's 5 of us in one apartment, and then we have a bunch of friends in the apartment across from us, and we were all kind of just hanging out, obviously still social distancing with the people who aren't directly in my apartment. And then the next morning I woke up and I had a really bad fever. It felt terrible because I hadn't had a fever in years. I think my temperature was like 101.2 degrees Fahrenheit. And I had a bunch of symptoms of COVID. But even then, I'm like, oh, it might just be the flu. It's starting to become flu season. It's probably something like that. I haven't been out at all, really. There's no way that I got COVID. But anyways, I let the nurses know I have a bunch of symptoms. They're like, okay, you and all your roommates have to come in and get tested because the last thing we need is you guys going to classes and spreading it to more people. So obviously we all stayed back. They said when you come to the nurse's office, make sure you pack up like 2 weeks worth of clothes with you and anything you need for your classes, because if you're showing this many symptoms, we're gonna need to quarantine you until your test comes back. I went first. My meeting with the nurses was a lot sooner than my roommates, so I packed all my stuff. I showed up, and at first they're like, all right, we're going to do a send-in test, and we'll quarantine you for a couple days till that comes back. If it's positive, you'll stay for 2 weeks. If it's negative, you can probably go back. Just stay away from classes till you feel better. And so they stuck that Q-tip thing way up my nose, like so far. It was the most uncomfortable, painful thing I had ever experienced. I hated it so much. It made my eyes like water a ton, and they like swabbed the inside of my nose for like 10 seconds, and it was so deep in there, and it like bugged me so much that my nose started bleeding and everything. It was just not fun at all. And then the head nurse came in after that and was like, what kind of test did they do on you? Did they do the one that takes a couple days to get the results back that we send in, or did they do the rapid one for you where we can find out if you have it or not in 15 minutes? I'm like, I'm not sure. So she checked, and they did the send in one, and she's like, since you have so many symptoms, we're going to have you actually do the rapid one now. So I had to do another test. That one wasn't quite as bad, but I wish they would have just done that one first so I wouldn't have had to deal with the terrible test. And sure enough, when they got the test back, it was positive. They're like, yeah, you have COVID. We're going to move you from your apartment that you're in now to a private one so you can quarantine and stay away from all the other students. We're going to have all your other roommates come in and get tested, and the friends that you were hanging out with. And so all my roommates got tested as well, and there are 5 of us total. 4 of us tested positive, so the 4 of us had COVID, and we're all in quarantine right now. I've been in quarantine for about a week now, and I have at least another week to go. And thankfully, I won't be completely alone during this quarantine. I have 2 of my roommates in the same room as me because we all tested positive, so they're like, we might as well stick them together and save room. And then all my other friends got quarantined. I think there were like 10 of us that are quarantined now. Most of them came back negative, but they're still making them quarantine for 2 weeks just to be safe, which I don't really understand completely, but hey, that's not my decision to make. And so hopefully the spread of COVID on our campus dies down I think it will. I think they got everyone that we were in close contact with quarantined and tested, and everyone's where they should be right now. But the symptoms were pretty bad for a couple days. I had a really bad fever, a cough, sore throat. My muscles were really achy. I had a ton of chills. It was pretty much like the flu, but like I'd say even a little bit worse. But thankfully I wasn't having any breathing issues, even though I do have asthma. So I was very thankful for that. And I'm doing much better now a week into it. And I believe in a couple days I'll get tested, and if that comes back negative, I'll be able to leave in like a week or so. But if it comes back positive, I'm gonna have to quarantine for another 2 weeks on top of what I've already done. So hopefully that isn't the case. And thankfully my roommates who tested positive, they didn't really have many symptoms, so they didn't have it nearly as bad as me. I'm so thankful that they didn't have to go through all that. But yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on. Sorry I haven't really uploaded in over a month. I've been so busy with school and then COVID and everything. But I'm gonna try and upload more videos as I can. It's a pretty busy semester, but I'm gonna try and do more videos like this probably. But anyways, if you enjoyed this story and you want to hear more about my quarantine adventures, there's a lot to talk about. I'd be happy to talk about it with you guys. Just let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Yeah. She be my remedy, sound like a symphony, epiphany, pull up and run, that's it back. She got that super soaker, damn it, had to choke her, but she like when I hit from the back. Yep, we can make it no strange attacks, when it down low, nigga, I'm down with that. Yeah, my cardi don't go like that, I'm hard not to play with no cold.